around, turn around and wave and smile at being our rescuer.
Time I turn around, I see some dude dressed like a clown, baggy pants and a cap on sideways. They don't say ma'am or sir no more. They won't even hold a door for a woman. Well, it's a crying shame. Tell me, where did all the good old boys go? Must be working on the farm, or out there chasing rainbows. Are they back in Oklahoma or at a Texas rodeo? Tell me, where did all the good old boys go? Are they sitting on an old bar stool, telling lies and cutting the fool, talking about the way it was and wishing? Or down in Orange Beach, Alabama, hanging out at the Florida Bama, headed out the pass and going fishing. Tell me, where did all the good old boys go? Must be working on the farm, or out there chasing rainbows. Are they hiding down in Georgia or at a Texas rodeo? Tell me, where did all the good old boys go? Driving cattle and riding high, living life the cowboy way. Or down there on the front line, fighting off the bad guys, giving them hell for the good old USA. Tell me, where did all the good old boys go? Must be working on the farm, or out there chasing rainbows. Are they back in Oklahoma or at a Texas rodeo? Tell me, where did all the good old boys go? Yeah, just where in the hell did the good old boys go? I know where a few of them are.
The Morris family and the Harris family has grown up together. We shared friendship, we shared love, and we have shared sorrow. This is not a new beginning today, just a new chapter in our story of families that have always been together. I would like to be the first to congratulate Mom and Dad, Coy and Joe, for the uniting of these two families, which have always been together anyway.
Driving through town, just my boy and me, with a Happy Meal in his booster seat, knowing that he couldn't have the toy till his nuggets were gone. A green traffic light turned straight to red. I hit my brakes and mumbled under my breath. His fries went a-flying and his orange drink covered his lap. Well, in my 4-year-old said a 4-letter word. It started with S, and I was concerned. So I said, son, now where'd you learn to talk like that? He said, been watching me. Got back home and I went to the barn. I bowed my head and I prayed real hard. Said, Lord, please help me help my stupid self. Then this side of bedtime later that night, turning on my son Scooby-Doo night light. He crawled out of bed and he got down on his knees. He closed his little eyes, folded his little hands, spoke to God like he was talking to a friend. And I said, son, now where'd you learn to pray like that?
Bless Mommy and Daddy, but don't send them any more children. They don't know how to handle the ones they've already got. If you send more, send them to my wonderful grandmother.
He said, I've been watching you, Dad, ain't that cool? I'm your buckaroo, I wanna be like you and eat all my food and grow as tall as you are.
Hello everyone, this is Lance Cromwell. Coming not so live from Augusta, Georgia, the land of peaches, or the place where peaches are shipped throughout the world, and I eat California peaches. Not as good. But I digress. Just wanted to wish Grandpa a happy 97th birthday. What was that, Carrie? Oh, sorry, not 97th. 76th birthday. Happy birthday, Grandpa. It's glad to know you're still kicking and screaming and making everyone as miserable as possible. Just kidding. I wanted to just share a few of my favorite stories from my growing up with Grandpa, and just let him know how much I appreciate the example that I received from him as growing up. So, back in the late 80s, it was pretty much just me and Grandpa, because at that point, Adrian was still too young, Jordan was a blip on the radar, and Aunt Dee and the kids were still in Maine, and Aunt Janice and Uncle Clint were still googly-eyed in college. So it was Grandpa and me, and I had a lot of fun doing things with Grandpa. Every weekend it seemed like we were over there visiting. Grandma used to make us ramen noodles in the cup, which we just thought was so awesome that the ramen noodles were in a cup and not in a bowl. And the adventures of going out and fixing something or doing something, those were the highlights of my childhood. And Grandpa always led on the way out. He always looked down and he'd be like, look for some nails. Don't want to pop a tire. So I had to look down and look for nails. And I think I did find one or two. But, I'll never forget just watching Grandpa always walk out there. Right, he had that right heel that, he walked on that right ankle. And I remember as a kid going, how does he walk on that ankle? I just don't understand it. But, remember, there's that grain bin out there by where the main shed where all the tractors, he'd park the tractors. And I got to be his measuring tool. So before that was built, he was digging the hole down into the ground. And he would hand me the tape measure, and then he had this cord, that like this rope, or he called it a cord, that he would use to make the markings. And he'd call it a card. He'd be like, hey, throw me down the card. So I'd roll it down. I'm like, now Grandpa, that's not a card. That's a cord. And he'd be like, now where you come from, you might call it a cord, but where I'm from, it's a card. And that stuck with me my whole life. I don't know why, but that always stuck. And I always would just kind of like joke around, card or cord. Anytime the word came up, I'd say card. And, it was the way that Grandpa always spoke that I just loved. And I know I'm going into third person like we're at his funeral, so I better stop talking third person here. So Grandpa, it was always the way that you spoke. I always enjoyed that. Another great memory I have was when, again, this is before Aunt Dee and the kids came into town, but we'd leave. We were there for a week or during the summer, sometimes a couple weeks, and every time my mom or dad would come pick us up, Grandpa would whip out his wallet and hand me a crisp $1 bill, and he'd say, "Here's $1. Go get you a hamburger." And what's funny about that was, on my mission, I remember one time for Adrian's birthday, I sent her a birthday card, and in it I put a $1 bill and wrote exactly that. "Here's $1. Go get you a hamburger." And it was that's our inside joke now, is that saying. So, the way Grandpa has always been something that's fascinated me. But, Grandpa, you always taught me how to work hard and not complain. And to this day, I think about how I live my life and how you taught me those things. And, I'm very grateful, especially as I see a lot of people younger than me that just lack those traits. And I'm very grateful that you taught me those things. And, I'm very grateful for all the good memories riding on those tractors and following you in the field because I couldn't ride on the tractor. And I remember being covered in dust because I walked like 5 miles behind the tractor. And I think back, man, if I saw myself, my like 8-year-old self walking by that tractor, I'd be like, man, that kid must be retarded because he's following a tractor in the field. But I loved it. And, I enjoyed driving 40 miles an hour on the freeway with you in old red as everyone was flying by, and as you took about 23 seconds in between gear shifts. I enjoyed those times. Anyways, I love you. Glad you're having a good birthday, and hope to see you again. May the force be with you.
We like fixing things and holding Mama's hand. Yeah, we're just alike. Hey, ain't we, Dad? I wanna do everything you do. So I've been watching you. With tears in my eyes, I wrapped him in a hug. Said my little bear is growing up. And he said, but when I'm big, I'll still know what to do. 'Cause I've been watching you, Dad, ain't that cool? I'm your buckaroo. I wanna be like you and eat all my food and grow as tall as you are. By then I'll be strong as Superman. We'll be just alike, hey, won't we?